How you doing, YouTube? Matt Massa Beer Reviews back with yet a little bit of Alemntary up in this piece in the form of their story problems. This is a Dortmunder lager, and it comes in at a scorching 6.3% alcohol by volume. Yeah, Dortmunders are legit one of my favorite beers, like one of my favorite beer styles of all time. They get little play, especially from new school breweries. But when they're done and they're done well, they're probably up there with one of my favorites, more specifically session or session ales. This one's a little bit high in ABV. Talking about 6.3%. I usually like my Dortmunders to be a little bit smaller than that, but we'll be okay. Pretty much exactly what I expect from Dortmunder. Maybe on a little bit of the light side, but it has this kind of washed out kind of penny kind of coloration to it. It has a real crumbly head, dissipating relatively quick. And label-wise, it's all right. It's what Alemntary does pretty much over and over again. I'm not going to say I hate it. I'm going to say I love it. But yeah, I mean, she looks a part of a Dortmunder. Yeah, we're off to a good start. So we'll see what's what. Let's get a nose on the sucker. It has this soft kind of graininess to it that does have this little bit of metallicness going for it. A little bit of, again, like a wet penny kind of thing going on. So that's not the best thing in the world. But there's a soft little graininess to it. It comes off as almost like a wet mash-in. Basically, if you've ever been in a brewery, you walk into a brewery, you can tell if they're mashing in because it has that moist grain smell to it. That's what this has. So almost like a no-boil kind of thing going on in this, with the soft graininess that's come off a little bit doughy in the grand scheme of things, I guess you would say. A little bit doughy, a little bit fresh, with the subtle little metallic thing. Very, very small, but it's there. I'm not going to say I hate it, and that's pretty much it. There's not much else as far as anything else going on. They actually have notes over here. Yeah. Let's talk about how much they make about this beer. I was curious if they did anything with the beer specifically. Yeah, so it's not like coming off as like an overt lager in the grand scheme of things. Just like a soft malt forward doughy kind of beer. Let's dive in. Cheers. Okay. Drinks way better than it smells, let's put it that way. I mean, it has this nice, that grain goes from that kind of uncooked, kind of moist kind of graininess to actually having a little bit of subtle spiciness to it, almost like there's a little bit of rye involved. You definitely get lager vibes off of it when you drink it. There's a little bit of funkiness to it and that crisp cleanness, which is quite nice. The malt still kind of elevates to a little bit more of like a baked bread, brown bread kind of thing going on instead of that doughy thing. That spiciness, that bittering thing has to be at the hops at work, but for me, the way it's coming off, I attribute it more to kind of rye sensation than anything else. Drink's clean, drink's nice, carbonation is fantastic. This is a really tasty Dortmunder. That nose leaves a little bit to be desired, to be perfectly honest with you. But in the grand scheme of things, you're drinking a pretty damn tasty beverage. Again, beer is a multi-step kind of thing. There's a look to it, there's a taste to it, there's a smell to it. All parts together, you want them to work well and be cohesive. The smell, I'm not going to sit here and say it's offensive. It's not even close to that, but it didn't remind me much of what a Dortmunder would be or what I would want a Dortmunder to be. But it really does follow up in the taste with something really, really tasty and delicious. So in the grand scheme of things, I'm not going to sit here and poo-poo on it too long. But yeah, nice, tasty, drinkable. A little bit high in ABV. I think you kind of get that a little bit, oddly enough. But a tasty effort. Nice, well done, clean lager. Did not expect that actually going into the beer. It proved me wrong. So that does not suck. So yeah, let's talk about it. It's one of the better Dortmunders I've had as of late. It's still worthy of being in a conversation. It's not going to be Mount Rushmore status because of the way that nose comes off, but it's pretty damn tasty stuff. Bagging availability, this is given by my boy Keith, so I couldn't tell you, but their pricing point, especially in their smaller can lager line, tends to be what I would want them to be. If you're talking about a six-pack of cans of a Dortmunder from a small craft brewery in New Jersey, I think you're probably paying around $12, give or take, for this. Keith will let us know what's what, and leave you with, if you like what will you like this beer. If you like Dortmunders, no shit, Sherlock. If you like malt forward lagers, this is done really well, and you'll dig it. If you're a big fan of noses, it might not be your favorite beer, but in the grand scheme of things, it's tasty stuff. That does not suck. So there you go. Another review in the books. Hopefully you guys enjoyed it. Down there if you want to talk about it. Massive Beers if you want to check me out doing the social media stuff. Beer Massive. Want to check me out doing the whole podcasting thing. And hopefully you guys enjoyed the review. Hopefully you're enjoying a little bit of Dortmunders right now. Hopefully see you next time. Cheers.